Welcome everyone to episode 13, lucky 13 of Damanerds. It is the 12th year of Sander, 11/30, June 17th. My name is MJ and I'm here with my buddy Rod from the Terror Squad, as always.
Hey, yo.
How you doing, Rod?
Just hanging out, about to nerd out about some fucking Kendama shit.
About to fucking nerd out, feeling nice, feeling toasty. I got my brewskis right here. My buddy gave me some beer that he got from a local brewery as a gift. So
nice.
He gifted it right over to me, and I said, "Thank you very much,
Beautiful. Beautiful. I was drinking some beer yesterday, actually, with Kota that Kota brought back from Denmark, from a brewery that I really like called McKellar.
Oh, dude!
He brought me back a couple beers as a gift,
Yeah.
and so I shared them with him, and it was fucking good.
Oh,
I wish I
man.
was still drinking that, but that was, you know how beers go. They go down real quick.
They go away.
So I'm back on that lemon strong game. We're in Japan. I'm broke as fuck. I got the cheap ass 100 yen, 9%
Right.
lemon sochu going.
Yeah, get it. Actually,
Gotta get it where the getting's good, bud.
Maybe. Sometimes.
Yeah, but only for a short time. This
You
shit
pass.
sucks. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not good. Not good.
But for now, it's great.
Little announcement for everyone who does not follow Damanerds on Instagram, you better do so. You know why? Because I'm getting a t-shirt ready for all you mofos out there who want to rep the Damanerds, to show off your Dama nerdiness to the world. So we're going to do some pre-sales. So follow us on Instagram. There'll be more information there once the t-shirt's ready and open for pre-orders. And then if you're coming to KWC, see, the plan is to get those shirts out to you. So that means free shipping for you lucky bastards. I'm going to get that shit over to Rod in the hotel, and he'll be handing them out. If you're living overseas, you're not coming to KWC, you still want a shirt, that's totally fine. Just hit up the pre-orders, check them out. Again, Damanerds, Instagram, that's where the information will be going up. So follow that shit and be on point. Episode fucking 13. We're here, everyone.
13.
Hopefully you're having a good time because, this is the Kendama podcast, Damanerds. There's been podcasts in the past and, they just have petered out, sadly.
Yeah, it was sad.
It's sad.
There's been a few of them.
The first one that I knew about was Smith's from Terra /
Talk.
Kusa. He's, a really good kind of like ambassador between Canada and America right there.
Yeah.
But that was what? 2 episodes? Fell off.
Yeah.
And then there was
Click Clack
There
Radio.
was Click Clack. Haley. Shit was awesome. She had videos
Super awesome.
on
Yeah.
YouTube and stuff. Like, dude, remember that 2-hour talk with Dave and Turner? Like,
Yeah.
If
Legendary shit.
if you haven't seen that shit or heard it, go do that now, you nerds.
Hells yeah.
Or there was
some homework for you nerds.
Yeah, Kendama, Georgia, I believe. Like Nick something, Dusseldorf, some shit. Sorry, Nick. But he had a podcast that he was rocking with his friend, and I believe his friend was also another Nick. Again, sorry, Nicks. But it fell off. And so
Yes, they did.
it just remains the nerds. The hardcore nerds are here.
So let's figuratively pour one out for the fallen homies. And by pour one out, I mean pour one into my mouth for our fallen homies.
Oh yeah, okay.
One for the Click Clack Radio.
Oh man, another one for
one for
Dama
the
Talk.
Dama Talk. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right.
And we can't forget the Knicks.
The Knicks.
Again, sorry, Knicks.
Yeah, I think I feel so bad now. Sorry, dudes. It was like Kendama Georgia podcasts or podcast.
I don't remember
Georgia.
that one, to be honest. I don't remember that one. You were talking about it, and I was like, "What?" Like, I don't remember that one at all.
Yeah, they had a few.
I've never been a huge podcast guy, though. I honestly have never found a podcast that I really sesh and listen to ever. The most I've listened to is Damanerds because I edit them all the time, so I have to listen to it. And so,
you're our biggest fan.
I am our own biggest fan.
It really hasn't kicked off until recently, I've heard, in North America. Like podcasts, like people have been listening to podcasts for a long time. I have one podcast that I'm a diehard fan, but like that's it. And they started back in like 2006. I jumped on 2008.
Oh damn!
And they're still grinding. Episode fucking 700 and something they're on right now.
That's epic.
But other than that, I never really got into too many podcasts. But it all depends on like what you're into.
No, totally. I mean, content is everything, right?
That's what all the podcasts are about.
It's like I don't expect many people who don't like Kendama to listen to us because, I mean, they're just going to listen to we might as well be speaking fucking Japanese or Swahili or like Italian or something because, like, you know, it's all fucking shit you have no idea about.
Exactly.
So, like, I get that. That's cool. You don't want to nerd out about Kendama. You probably don't want to listen to the Dama nerds.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah. That's why there's so many other podcasts.
Like, I don't want to listen
everyone.
to,
just like fucking music.
I don't know.
Different types of music.
Yeah.
Different types of TVs, different types of movies. Find what you like.
Different strokes for different folks.
Enjoy it. Yes. So hopefully everyone's enjoying the beginning of episode 13. Going a little slow, but you know what? We're enjoying ourselves. And
yeah, we are.
That's what Kendama's about too, right? Enjoying yourself.
Absolutely. That's been something that, like, I don't want to say it's been lacking in Kendama recently, but recently there's been so much push with, like, new tricks, and everyone's like, oh, this is new, this is creative, this is first person to do this is the first 15 tap, this is like that, and it's like, yo, just slow down for a second and just enjoy the fact that you can pull up Lunar every time.
Yeah.
Because, like, think back, like, I know when the first time I pulled up Lunar, it was definitely nowhere near first try. It took me fucking days, weeks.
Oh man!
Of even thinking that it was fucking that I was able to do it. Never mind fucking doing it. And then when I finally did it, it was just like, oh, it was like it's just as good, if not better, than the first time you have sex. You know, you're just like, oh yes, I did it.
Yeah.
Fucking all that work, fucking did it, and you never forget it. So like, all I'm saying is take a step back, just remember that shit. Go back to the base. There's nothing wrong with going back to the roots, you know?
Yeah, no. I mean, that's I think is a must. To just, you know, go back and think about those footsteps you took to get you where you are today.
Yeah. Go walk a mile in your own shoes, your old shoes.
Yeah, the old ones.
Go dig out that old pair of Vans you wore back in high school. No, maybe not back in high school. Let's not go back that far. I'm sorry. I got a little ahead of myself. But you see where I'm getting at.
Right. Dude, yeah, I was just listening back to episode, what was that? I forgot. With Jake, when Mr. Weens.
3? Was it 3?
No, that was with Matt.
No, that was Sweets. Yeah, you're right.
So
it was 7 or something.
Yeah,
anyways.
So I was listening back to it, and I was just like, man, like, he's so deep, complicated, yet simple, just like a Kendama.
Yes.
He was like, don't let Kendama be anything other than what you want it to be. Like, it's
100%.
Like, it's yours. Yeah. And it's like, I was listening back to that show. He's like, fuck yeah, Jake.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
That's it. Because don't let people tell you like, oh, you got to learn this trick. You got to learn this trick.
No, yeah.
You don't
like,
have to.
It's cool to like take that into account and to like, you know, try that route. Like try on your homie's shoes, see how it feels like to walk in their shoes.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean,
I just used the metaphor. I got to use it again.
Well, I mean, but not everyone bought soap shoes at the beginning, so you had to try your friend's soap shoes first to see if you really wanted them shits.
Yeah, you see if you break your shoulder or not.
Yeah.
Actually, like on that same tip, I was just looking at the good old FKC earlier today, and there was some chats going on in there about how recently there's been a lot of two-handed kind of shit going on, and it's like, well, where's the line drawn between like this is something creative and innovative, or this is something that's just straight like kind of cheating and looks like whack, you know? And so I find that to be a very interesting and obviously very personal, like between every person thinks differently about that. Everybody has their own feelings, right?
Yeah.
And I find that to be very interesting, like a very interesting topic to go down, because it's like, you know, if you're somebody who juggles, like, and I'm not talking about like kendama juggles, I'm talking about like ball juggling. You have 3 objects, you know.
Like go to the circus.
If you look at kendama juggling, yeah, exactly. But if you look at kendama juggling, it's fucking just nothing. Like they do that shit with like with nothing. They would
Yeah,
look at
yeah.
you in the fucking eye, eat a hot dog, and tell you what's on the hot dog while they're doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
they might not spike it, but like they would be able to do that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like, so it's very interesting to look at some of the things where like people are using both hands and throwing like the ball and the can like back and forth and
Yep.
stuff like that. And a lot of it looks really cool, and some of it is very creative, and I do enjoy most of it. But at the same time, the part of me that like knows the juggling world is going like, that's some fucking lowbrow shit. Like
okay.
that's like what like kids do when you're trying to teach them how to juggle 3 balls, like, and you give them 2 to start with. That's what they do,
Yeah.
So but like that being said, it's like it's not something that people see. So it's also a little bit creative on one hand, and like I don't know, it's very interesting. Like where does the line, like where do you draw the line? Like I don't know. It's a question I ask very often.
Yeah. Well, I think again, it's gonna be depending on everyone's own opinion. Personally, I can be a purist with some shit. So I would say that as long as both hands aren't touching the shit at the same time, like that's what you want to aim for.
Yeah, and see, and a lot of comments did say that. But what about like if you're doing a trick, like for example, like Albert, dude on Crom Kendama, does a lot of stuff like this, where he'll do like a lighthouse, but then use his other hand to like push the spike and like sandwich them together, and then he like, but it's very quick and like flowy. And he does it with a lot of other movements and stuff. So that is like a very good exception to that rule in some ways, like it all depends on the venue, of course, like how things are presented, where they're presented. Like you're not going to do that at World Cup. Like that is not going to be a World Cup trick. I don't care how creative it is, how fucking sick you think it is, but it's not going to be a World Cup trick.
I don't know. Who knows in a few years?
Yeah, maybe. You never know. But like there is some tricks that just that just can't be though, right? Because like for one thing, you have to think about it like as a judge. Like how does a judge know if you are doing that properly versus like this person who's doing it differently? Like there's just so much room for interpretation that you just there's no black and white with that, like in which you need in that kind of setting. Right. Whereas if it's freestyle or if you're just posting a video or just having fun, then fuck yeah, go have some fun. Fucking hand the fuck out of that lighthouse and make it a show. Like I don't give a fuck. Like go have some fun with it.
Yes. Totally agree with that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
that being said, if you're on a stage and you're trying to fucking show what a lunar is and you're fucking thumbing your lunars, you best fucking take a step back and look at what the fuck you're doing, because that is some bullshit.
Fucking, we got to come out with the ruler.
I got to come out with the ruler. Give that fucking old thumb a smack real quick, because like, listen, I know that touched. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Fuck you.
I'm not sorry. You got to raise your hand or some shit. Be like, nope. Yeah. Like, all right, redo.
It is okay to touch. It is okay. It happens to all of us. What is not okay is pretending that you fucking didn't touch.
Yes.
That is not okay.
Because that's just what.
Don't fucking lie to me.
Our mama
don't lie to your kinfolk.
Don't lie.
Don't lie to your fellow kinfolk.
Because I mean, really,
bullshit.
Really, you're just lying to yourself. So
yeah, you are, and like disrespecting all of this is like, I've seen this happen before. I'm not going to name names, but there are people who have handed shit in competitions in front of the masses, and they do it, and then they fucking, for me, it's just a huge disrespect to myself and like everyone else who was there. It's like, you really think that I didn't fucking see that? Like I was across the fucking venue and I can see what you're doing. Like I'm not stupid. I have been playing Kendama for longer than you. Not that that really matters. Like what matters is that I understand this and I can see you.
Yes.
Like don't fucking tell me like you're like my fucking like ex-girlfriend who told me she didn't cheat on me and looked me in the face, but I knew goddamn well she cheated on me. Like shit. That is what you are. You are being my ex.
Going into dark territories.
We're getting dark on the fucking nerds today, bud. I'm fucking.
It's really interesting how there are these, again, like these unwritten rules that, like 80% of us, 90%, I believe, know. If you're a real Kendama player, it's just these things
I think that's a pretty good number.
Are accepted. Sure. And when you look at young kids picking things up, most of the time they don't have the correct teachers or just guidance to tell them like, oh, actually, if it hits your thumb, like it technically like how, right? How would you explain it? Like it doesn't count.
Well, so
And
like
then
what
they're
I
like,
do,
what do you mean
so
it doesn't count? What doesn't count? And then it goes to, it's like, well, okay, true, you're not in a competition, so like, have fun, kendama's whatever you want it to be.
yeah.
But
once you get to the competition, then it becomes a problem.
Then you
right?
really
And
gotta
it's like,
watch
well,
out.
why? Like, why didn't everybody tell me this before?
Right.
So, right, that's another thing. So, what I usually do is I will say, like, for example, with the Kendama Kente thing, one of the tricks in the basic level, which is a very low level, is frying pan to spike.
Oh.
Frying pan has had a lot of names over the years. Frying pan, fork.
Right. Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, but
Just slip
I don't know. I can't think of any more.
Slip on spike?
No, not the slip. Like
spike?
on this, slip on stick
Slip
is
on
like when you
stick.
do it like with the hole down on
wanky.
the spike, and then you slide it into the hole.
Yep.
But frying pan is where it just rests on the spike as a bird, kind of, and it is actually probably the hardest trick in the basic category because it's like kind of fidgety to like sit in that spot.
Yeah.
You know, and so a lot of the times when I do it with kids and stuff, they'll use their hand or they'll catch it on the opposite side of the serrato, like on the base cup side kind of thing,
right.
and it's like on their
resting
finger.
Their hand. Yeah,
and like the whole point of this kente thing and these events and having kids play is to get them stoked on it and to get them to want to play, right?
Right.
So part of me is always like, oh yeah, you did it! Like fuck yeah, cool, high five, like yeah,
fuck yeah, little kid.
But the other part of me is just like, listen, you little shit, you keep that fucking finger away from that Tama when you're holding the can, you know. So it's like the age-old fuck. What is that quote? You have two wolves inside of you. One is good, one is bad. It's like, well, which one wins? Which one do you feed?
Right.
Like, which one do I feed
exactly,
here? You know?
Yeah. What kind of karate master teacher are you gonna be? The one that fucking barks down everyone's throat when they do something bad, or the positive giver?
Exactly. And like I believe there's room for both.
Yep.
You know, it all depends on the situation. Like I said before, it's all about there's the good cop, bad cop. It's all about the presentation, like the venue, like what you're doing, where you're doing it, kind of thing. Like if it's just me and this kid, I'll be stoked for him. And then after we're done doing the actual kente test, or like later on, or if I'm just teaching him, I will show him like, so this is what a frying pan usually you don't use you don't want to use your finger. This is bad. Right now it was okay because it was your first time, so that's cool.
Right, yeah.
You know, like, but you want to try and do it without your finger.
Right, challenge yourself
a little more. You
want
to be encouraging, right?
Yep.
You have to be encouraging. You can't be a fucking dick about it because then people are just going to be all fucking like, whoa, kendama's like, that's hard, man. Like, what do I do? Is this wrong? Like, like that's not what we're trying to create. That's not what anybody wants, man.
Right.
Like, nobody needs more fucking anxiety in their life. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Especially
Especially not from a fucking kendama. Like, that is not why any of us pick up a kendama. It's like, I could use some anxiety today. That's what I could use. Yeah. I'm going to go play some kendama for a couple hours and fucking hate my life. Sure, let's go do that.
Levels up, yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, fuck no. That's not what we're about. No. Like, it's the complete opposite. It's like, I've been feeling stressed. I've been feeling anxiety, anxious and shit. Like, fuck. I need to go play some Dama and forget about my life for a minute and think about nothing but this stupid ball sitting on this cup.
Zone out. Meditate.
That's what's beautiful about kendama.
Yeah. Yeah, but
that's why we all keep coming back.
So like, right, a lot of kids, right, need guidance, and we can teach them on how to do stuff. But like, especially in the States, or I guess outside of Japan is a place where the most fucking kendama events happen. Like
100%.
Rod, you've been within this past year, you've been to probably like 70% of all the kendama events that have happened in Japan.
Honestly, probably not, because every time I'm going to an event, there's another event happening.
Oh,
so
man.
like, I don't think it's possible for anyone
probably
to
at least
be
50%.
Like, I mean, maybe I don't know, man.
Right? Because it's like, if you weren't
but
there,
I have been to events in probably like 90% of Japan. I've been to events and I've done events.
Yeah.
So I've been able to do events with all of the people, regardless of where they are.
Right. So, and then there's the kente system, that grading that happens, that Gloken made. So that is again in Japan, but outside of Japan, they got nothing.
Yeah, they have yet to release it in English outside of Japan.
Yeah.
It's only in Japanese. They do have plans to, and they will soon.
Yeah,
but not yet.
I mean, so we got Josh, Flo. Like,
I mean,
hitting people,
so this is what
hard.
This is what I was just gonna say. So Josh has a whole thing going on. It's not only him, but there's a couple other guys. Like I know Tyler from MPLS, MPLS,
Okay, yeah.
Minneapolis, Kendama.
Yeah.
He's a painter. He was on board with Josh for sure, and I believe there's one or two other people working with them. I don't know all the specifics. I gotta talk to them more about that.
Yeah.
But they've been doing they call it KEY, the Kendama Institute.
Yes.
And they've been traveling to like YMCAs across America and stuff,
Right.
and doing lots of events, and they're always posting stuff. And like
Yeah.
I talk to Josh fairly often, and he's been telling me some stories and stuff. And
Yeah, shit's
it
awesome.
looks
If anyone's
like
following him,
basically
you can
the
see,
exact same shit. Like Josh even wrote a book
Yeah.
on Kendama. If you guys don't know about that, like he wrote a whole book about this shit.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
And not only about Kendama, but like what Kendama can teach, like what kind of like offerings it brings as an object. I don't know I don't know the term. You're gonna have to read the book to get the real terms. I'm just
yeah. Like the deeper aspects of a kendama, these things that it can teach you on a like personal human kind of level of
exactly.
You know, like what they tell
it's
you like why your kids should fucking go to karate class, not just because they like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's because it's like, oh, it's gonna teach you discipline. And you know,
it teaches you like
how to
self-restraint along with like being powerful. Or, like,
right.
The Spider-Man, what's that Spider-Man quote? It's like, with great power comes great responsibility. Right? Like, yeah. Yeah, and Kendama absolutely teaches like perseverance and patience and like attention to detail and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, and like there's no fucking question. Like if you've spent any amount of time that if you're listening to this podcast, I know that you've spent at least enough time to understand what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Unless you're my dad. My dad's been listening to these recently, and I don't think he's spent as much Kendama time as the rest of us. So
but he knows.
If you're listening to this, Dad, get on it. You need to catch up with the rest of us nerds. But yeah, no, and that's irrefutable. Like Kendama is a teacher, and it always has been, and that's why it's in Japanese schools here. Like, not only because it's tradition. Like, the tradition is huge, especially in Japan. But the tradition exists for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's why that was there in the first place, right?
Yeah.
And that's why it's so fucking cool. And it's so easy to fucking use with people because everybody understands it. It has, like, this...
Right.
Like, deep... Like, it's deep-seated, like, into people's fucking, like, brains, you know? Like, someone sees it and they're just like, oh, I know that thing. Like, you might not know the name of it. You might not know the extent to what people do with it recently. Within the last 10 years, but you know that fucking ball sits on that big cup.
Yeah.
For damn sure.
Hells yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's fucking cool to me. Like, that I can just walk around with this fucking toy and just, like, meet some person who has a completely different experience. They could come from any country.
Right.
I could be in any country. They could speak any language, like, anything, and they will know that.
Yeah.
Like, that is fucking cool. That is That's an irreplaceable communication tool in my toolbox, if you ask me anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's intense.
Mm-hmm. And that's the funny thing. Kendama has so many things too. Like I have this ties into a story I have. But so Kendama can be a communication tool. It can be a teacher. It can also be a fucking weapon.
Oh.
Right? So how many times have you thought that, you know, I always have this kendama around my neck. Like, some motherfucker's going to talk shit to me. They're going to get a Dama upside the fucking head.
Oh, man.
Like, fuck
I would think more of like a spike it to the dome.
See, I never got that gory with it. I'm more of the, like, fucking, like, trying to get them away from me shit.
Use it like a fucking morning star.
Yeah, I don't want their blood on my Dama. I usually carry around a nice Dama, you know? I don't want that shit all over. I don't want this fucking motherfucker's blood all over my shit.
Fucking Purple Heart.
But anyways, I said I have a story that ties into this, right?
Yeah.
So the other day, I was chilling here in Matsumoto in my room, just playing some video games, hanging out. It was kind of late.
All right.
And a friend of mine that I met, she hits me up and is like, hey, I'm at this spot. There's a spot in Matsumoto that's called the Elbow Room. And it's one of, if not the only bar that's open late.
It's
here,
called
like past,
Elbow
like,
Grease?
11. Elbow Room.
Oh.
No grease, but... But it's a sick little bar, right? It's really fucking... I go there decently often. It's nice and cheap. It's always the same guy working there. It's just a small spot.
All right.
And it's super sick. Like, really good vibes. All the people who go there are cool.
Yeah.
I went there. My friend totally ditched me, and she just was like, like, I went to this other spot. And I was like, well, shit. Well, like, I didn't want to come. You fucking asked me to come. Like, thanks. But so, like, I went outside to talk to her, to be like, hey, like, to call her. She didn't even answer me. She texted me later. But while I was outside, another friend that I knew was coming to the bar. So I saw her, and I was like, oh, well, fuck. Okay, this trip isn't wasted. I'm going to fucking...
Right, yeah,
it's not
you
like
can
it's
hang out with
far.
somebody.
And just like, yeah, I'll hang out and have a beer.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah. So I ended up hanging out for like a few hours. I was there until closing, of course, like 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m. I had a few beers and fucking whatever and smoked and shit. And like, so it was pissing rain this day. I go outside, and right before I had left, there was a homie that was at the bar had left just before me. And so as he was leaving, I was kind of like, you know what? I'm going to go home too. It's fucking 2:30. I didn't even want to come here in the first place. I'm going to go home, go to bed kind of thing. And so I'm leaving, and then I go outside, step outside, and that dude was still outside getting his bike, like still getting ready to leave kind of thing. And I saw him and was just like, yo, like, have a good one, dude, like, whatever. Yeah. And he was just like, yo, like, something weird. And this dude was very clearly Japanese, but spoke perfect English. Like, this is the first time I met him, so I've yet to figure out his story.
Oh, all right.
So he said to me, like, yo, something fucking weird is going on over here, man. Like, I don't know what's up, but, like, something weird. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And we're in, like, the pissing rain. Like, it's fucking pissing.
Yeah.
And I'm tired as shit. I'm drunk. I'm trying to just go home and pass out, 2:30 a.m., yeah. And, like, I'm like, my brain's barely working, and he's telling me this shit. And I'm like, dude, I just want to get on my bike. Like, what the fuck? And so he points over here, and, like, in this little dark alley, like, just, like, it sounds sketchy, but it's like the entryway to, like, these buildings. In Japan, there's lots of very small streets and alleys that look really sketchy, but that's just the way Japan is because it's so small. But anyway, so there's this guy who was in there, this like middle-aged man. He had to be like 45 at least. And he's just fucking screaming at this poor woman. I don't know what their relationship is. I've never seen them before. I know nothing. There's just this dude fucking screaming. And I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, that is kind of fucked up. Like, but what do I say? Like, fuck, I don't know. Like, and as we're talking about how fucked up it is, the dude fucking punches the wall or some shit and makes this huge big noise. And we're just like, whoa, like, what the fuck was that? And so we look over, and the homie that I was with, like, turned his phone light on. He's already standing on his bike because he's, like, getting ready to go. Right. And my bike is still locked up sitting there. And he fucking turns his light on, and he's, like, shines it over at them. And it's like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, nice, like
he
a
says
police
that
officer.
in English. Yeah, kind of, right? Yeah. And so now we're, like, 100% involved. And this guy, like, gets really fucking pissed. Like, of course, he comes over, like, towards us, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean, fuck? Like, what did you say? He's yelling in Japanese, right? Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm already, like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. Like I said, I'm, like, tired and shit. And I'm just like, oh, wow. Like, I just wanted to go home. Like, the fuck? And then as that dude comes over, the homie that I was with just fucking got on his bike and just ditched. Like,
bullshit.
He was just gone.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah, dude. So now I'm just left with this fucking angry as shit, probably really drunk, middle-aged fucking Japanese dude. Man. And he's just fucking screaming at me
Aggressor.
Like, who the fuck are you? Like, dare da omae? Like really angry shit. And I was just like backing
rolling
away
his
from him
R's as much as possible.
Very aggressive. Yeah. And I'm just, very, very R rolling.
Yeah.
Kono yaro, like that kind of shit. Yeah. And so I'm like, just backing away, being like, yo, like, I didn't say, and I'm talking Japanese to him. Like, I'm not just fucking yelling at him in English. I'm like, yo, I didn't say anything. Just calm down for a second. Yeah. Like, and before I knew it, I had backed up, like, most of the way down the block and was turning the corner. And by that point, I was like, what am I doing? Like, fuck this. And, like, my bike is there. Like, fuck this dude, And the dude just, like, came at me, like, when I stopped moving, and he, like, kicked at me. Yeah. Like, he was trying to kick me. And this was, the reason I brought this up was because...
What kind of kick? Was it, like, he was trying to kick, like, your legs, or he was, like, going for, like, your face? Like,
it was like waist high. That motherfucker couldn't get his foot near my face.
Okay, a little
There's no
roundhouse
way.
kick?
Like a kick. Like, if he would have hit me, it wouldn't have hurt. But I saw it coming. Like, I was tired and shit, but I still smacked his foot away as he kicked me at me kind of thing. And then I was just like, yo, you know what? Fuck you, dude. And I just walked around the opposite way and went back to my bike. And the reason I brought this up was because the whole time I was backing up and this dude's coming at me and shit, I already realized before that this was a very rare occasion where I left in a hurry and I forgot to bring a kendama with
You just
me.
had no kendama.
So this was one of those times I didn't have it, and like there's been so many times where I've thought like this motherfucker's gonna start shit, like I'm gonna hit him with my fucking dama, you know, like just in the back of my mind, like that shit has crossed my mind, of course. You know? And I'm sure
like you got your
as many of
skateboard.
you guys are probably fucking shaking your head right now. Yeah, skateboards, you truck fuck someone,
Oh man,
right? Like
so
yeah,
done.
same shit, dude. Like, and so like this dude's coming at me, and I don't have a kendama, man. Like if I had one and I just like put it in a tornado and it was just like looked at him, was just like, yo, come at me, motherfucker. Let's go. Like that guy would have for sure walked away with his tail between his legs.
I don't think so.
Either that or his drunk ass would have came and fucking ate a tama. That's what would have happened.
I think would have happened.
And then I would have fucking had the story to win my own break shit contest.
Oh my god. But you wouldn't
Right?
You wouldn't have your own story to win the argument with the police.
Yeah, well, I would have been out of there before they came. But there's only one guy in this town that would swing a dama like that. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, it's not Tomotsu.
Right. So, anyways, to end the story, so what happened was I came back around the building.
Yeah.
And I went to my bike. And as I got to my bike, all the homies that I was with inside the bar were all beginning to leave because the bar was closing and shit. And so I was like telling them about this dude, being like, this guy's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what his problem is. I'm just trying to leave. He's yelling at this girl. And like, I saw the girl as I came around the corner. She was still standing in the same spot in that road.
Yeah.
So I didn't like walk up to her, but I like yelled at her. It was just like, I wasn't that far away, like maybe like 10, 15 feet away. And I was just like, hey, like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, is everything okay? And she just kind of like didn't really move and just shook her head, like nodded her head, yes.
Oh man.
And I was just like, well, fuck, man. Like, part of me, I kind of feel like a bit of a bitch for like running away and like, cause I left. I got on my bike and like that dude started coming back and I was just like, I am not dealing with this. Like, fuck this
so
guy.
where'd he go? So he tried to kick you. You blocked it.
Well,
you said
so,
fuck
like-
you. You walked around the other way to just.
So imagine the spot where I was. Like he walked to the left, and then like it's like a big circle kind of thing. So we walked about to the corner, and rather than dealing with him and trying to walk past him, I just went around the other way, the long way of the circle.
Yeah.
And just went to my bike.
So you
'Cause,
could
like,
totally see him, and he could watch you as you're walking.
No, he didn't see me. There's a building in the way, so
Okay,
he wouldn't
okay.
have seen me. He saw me leave. He had no fucking idea that was my bike or anything. The dude's drunk.
Right.
Like, he's not listening to anything. Like, he had no fucking idea what was happening. And, like, he thought I was saying shit, and the whole time it was that other dude
Yeah,
saying
he probably
shit.
thought it was you.
I agreed with the dude. Like, there was definitely some fucking funky shit going on, and I felt
Dude.
really bad for that girl. And I
Yeah.
really hope that nothing bad happened that night, because there's a very good chance that that drunk-ass, fucking angry-ass idiot came back and fucking took his anger out on her instead of me. You know, and if that's the case, I would gladly take that fucking kick from that guy. But I don't know. And like, I was just trying to process all of this.
Nobody
Like I said,
knows.
like I'm
Yeah.
just drunk
Yeah.
and tired and just like, it's pissing rain, like pissing fucking rain. Like it's not just a little bit. Like I'm soaked.
Piss
And like,
drunk,
I didn't
piss
bring a
rain.
rain jacket. Like,
Yeah.
ugh. It was a fucked up situation, man.
I think that dude that you met that speaks really good English but is totally Japanese sounds like he set your ass up.
Yeah, he kind of did a little bit. There was a point where, like, when I got to the back, he, like, came by on his bike and was like, oh, it was me, like, kochi da yo, he said in Japanese, like, over here kind of thing. And that was what, like, made the guy stop following me, so I went around back to my bike kind of thing.
Because that's like,
But I don't know what happened after that, because, like, all my friends were coming out, and by that time there was, like, 5-6 people kind of thing,
Yeah.
and I was already soaked, and I still had to bike home, and I was just like, you know what? I'm out. Fuck this. I'm out. I'm leaving. Going home. And I got home and I was just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I had to sit here and process. I actually, like, sat down and wrote down a whole page in my notebook here. I wrote down what happened to me.
before you went to sleep?
Because, like,
Drunk Rod?
yeah,
Just-
wait, oh yeah. Dude, I couldn't go to sleep, man. I was like, by that point, I was soaked, I was cold, I was full of adrenaline from this
replaying
crazy
the whole
motherfucker.
episode in your head, like what could have happened?
Replaying. And one of the funny things is that a friend of mine on Steam gifted me the new Yakuza game, Yakuza 0.
Oh yeah.
So I've been playing that game recently,
You're
so I've
living it.
been exposed to like that kind of shit. So like, I swear in my brain it was just like I'm just playing the Yakuza game.
Yeah,
I just
dude.
happened to be cold.
Who knows? Maybe
You know?
maybe he was the boss of a girls club, and she was one of the girls, and she came
I mean,
late, or
that
she fucking did some shit.
Yeah,
Behind his
that
back.
very well could have been the case. I know nothing.
Right?
That's just it. Like, is it my place to get involved? Like, I don't know, man. Like, part of me like wants to be the hero and be
Yes.
like, yo,
Yes.
you're fucking mistreating this girl and
Yes.
like, fuck you, dude. You're a piece of shit. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know the situation. Like, she could be the piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, she could have just broken into his house and he was yelling at her or something.
Right,
you know,
right,
like
right,
it could
right.
be anything. Like, I have
Or
no
maybe
fucking
it's his, like,
reference
daughter.
at all. Yeah, or anything. Like, and I'm just fucking trying to get on my bike and go goddamn home.
But then
That's the whole thing.
dude,
you know? It's
but
like,
then the dude you met fucking takes the fucking mag light out on his phone.
Yeah,
and
dude,
says
like,
in English, "What the fuck's going on?"
but like he didn't say it to that dude. Like we were just talking and that just came out. You know,
Yeah,
I don't
that
blame
dude.
that guy. Like I was just as curious once he pointed it out. I was like, "Fuck! Like, is that something we should deal with?" Because like,
Not when you're that drunk.
I've never dealt with that kind of shit in Japan very often, but I have seen it in Canada a lot.
Yeah.
Where like people will be like be obviously being very aggressive and being like violent
Yeah.
to like whether it's to their partner or to someone else and shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, you know, like I really don't want to get involved in that kind of shit. That's not really me, but I'm also not gonna sit here and let
let
this
it
person
happen.
fucking go through that shit and be like, yo, like I'm fully willing to stand up and be like, listen, dude,
Yeah.
like I don't like what's going on here, and I'm sorry that I'm fucking invading your shit, but this is a public area. Like, if you need to deal with some personal shit, you do not do this here in the street.
Yeah.
Because this is what happens. You get some motherfucker like me who comes in and is like, hey, what's happening?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
to me, this doesn't look cool.
Yeah.
You
And I
know?
think that's the mindset of a lot of people overseas in North America. And
Straight up.
in Japan, it's the opposite. I've seen
Quite the opposite.
I've seen it's pretty much just turn around. None of your business.
Yeah, it's like, don't get involved if you don't want to deal with
none
it,
of your
basically.
business. Yeah, and a lot of people
Yeah, it's
don't
none of your
want to.
business.
As well as if you were to do it in the States, there would probably be a number of people that would pretty much see your side and be like, yeah, actually, what you're doing is kind of fucked up. Like, chill out. And so you would have reinforcements. But in Japan, again, that's not the case.
No, yeah, those like so all those people that were my friends that were coming out of the bar, they probably would have been like, oh, like
Just like the dude.
I'm going home.
Just like the dude who turned his phone light on and then pieced out
Yeah.
right after.
yeah,
That's exactly what happened, right?
yeah.
So it's kind
pretty
of.
much. I mean,
it's fucked
yeah.
up. I've seen fights between high school kids go down, and people just like walk around like oh whoop, just like whoop, can't like totally not
Hands up,
making
just
eye
trying to
contact, hands up, just trying to walk by, making themselves like as thin as possible to squeeze by.
Yeah,
Not gonna do anything. I've seen in the same like your case where some dude seemed like they looked like a couple and it seemed like he was fucking flipping out. He was flipping out, screaming so hard in her face. I didn't understand a lot of Japanese back then. It was a long time ago.
yeah.
And it was me and my friends who were just like, yo, what's up? Hey. And I totally felt like a fucking chihuahua on a porch of someone's house, seeing someone drive by and be like, hey. Like, but I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah, right?
And then like I had my Japanese friends that were there with me and they're like, you don't know the situation. So
No, totally.
it's better to just not do anything. And I'm like, but it seems just like you were saying, like, it seems fucked up though. Like, I'm gonna be
Yeah, man. It's
I
like there is 100% room for both arguments.
Yeah.
You know, and like there is times where you don't know the situation and you definitely do not need to be sticking your nose in other people's business.
Yes.
But at the same time, we also live in a world where there's a lot of fucking discretion, like a lot of fucking racism, a lot of fucking hatred towards people, and nobody deserves that.
Yeah.
And like, if somebody's fucking acting a fool, like they should not be able to get away with that just because the rest of us don't want to deal with it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And like, I don't know, man. It sucks because like I don't want to fucking deal with that shit. I did not want that dude fucking swinging his dirty fucking stinky feet at me in the middle of the night in the rain.
Right.
Like, but
Nobody wants
man.
that,
Like,
but that's like what people have to stand up for because there are those shit people.
yeah, no, totally. And like, there is situations where like, who knows, man? Like, that could have been it could have been a rape. It could have been fucking anything. Like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I still to this day I don't know fucking what the hell happened.
Nope.
And I probably will never know unless that dude happens to live across the street from the elbow room and I go,
And you
because
see
I'm
him
going to
again.
go there again.
Yeah.
And I see him again. Like, next time, I'm if you're listening, dude, one thing so you know, I'm going to have my Dama next time, motherfucker. I might start bringing the fucking jumbo to the bar.
The jumbo, dude. Bring the jumbo pill. That thing has fucking like mass to it.
Yeah, I was more thinking like the kaiju, like the Sweets kaiju, that big
Shit.
Dama.
But to circle around, there's a lot of people who suck. So there's a lot of people who still believe that it's, I guess not suck. They're people that are uneducated.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
So people are, still doing some tricks in the kendama community that other people, usually people who have played kendama more, hopefully, they have the better stance of it than people who just want to like be like, oh no, that's not cool because the pro said that's not cool, so I'm gonna fucking be on their side, and then I'm gonna haze the shit out of you because of this. And that's again goes to uneducated shits. That being said, like everybody goes through this, and if you think like, I don't know whoever's listening to the podcast, no matter how old you are, look back like 5-10 years. Were you cool? Because you probably weren't cool. All right? Everyone learns. D. Westy released a clip on Instagram. I think it was Kusa or his own. And it was like, hey, like, look at me when I like first picked up kendama. And he was doing some tricks. And of course, like he would get a trick or he'd get on a cup and he'd fix the string. Like almost every motion he did, he fixed the string.
Yeah.
And so many people were like, oh, D-Westy, like, you fixed the string. That shit hurts me so much.
You fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
You fucking get that left hand out of there, bro.
And it's like, yo. Like, yes.
It's like, yeah, but
we don't agree with it. Yes. And everybody knows, like, yeah, that ain't cool to do. D-Westy for sure knows that's not cool to do. But
yeah, now.
Exactly. That's the thing. We all grow, we all learn. So
yeah, man.
There's no need to be negative.
It's like you don't have a fucking kid. You're teaching a kid how to walk. If the kid falls over, do you beat his ass?
Yeah.
Like, that's not how you fucking walk, you little fucker. Like, no. You pick him back up and you fucking help him. Like, you don't fucking just throw him down the stairs like, walk now, you little fucker.
Right.
Like, no. That's not how that works.
Exactly. So
none of us learned any of this shit like right off the bat. Everything is gradual.
Right. So it's like, it's weird how the kendama community is like one of the best, but also can have, again, such toxic people, just like the rest of the world and society. Which we can't get away from. Because it's, kendama's kendama. It's like, we're welcoming. Everyone fucking get on this shit.
100%. And that is part of having like a large group of people together and a large group of people like talking about the same thing, doing the same thing, interacting together. There's always going to be people who butt heads. There's always going to be people who think differently.
Right. Which is totally fine.
Oh, 100%. And that's what I'm getting at.
Right.
Is that there's room for all of us.
Yes.
We just have to work together. Like, there's no room. What there isn't room for is hatred towards other people.
Right.
What there isn't room for is, like, tearing someone else down. You know?
Yeah.
Like, we don't need that shit. Like, it's fucking 2019. There's been enough hatred. There's been enough violence. There's been enough fucking shit like that. We don't need any of that shit.
Yeah.
All we need to do is fucking hang out and better ourselves and, like, our kendama skills through that.
Yeah.
Like, if that's what we're trying to do. Like, if you want to play yo-yo, if you want to fucking drink beers faster, if you want to, like, whatever the fuck. I don't care what you want to do. But, like...
Stop comparing.
You just... Yeah. It doesn't fucking matter.
Enjoy the shit.
Who gives a shit? Yeah. Who cares if that dude touched both fucking pieces of wood at the same time? Like...
Yeah. Who cares?
Unless it's something that is, like, legit against the rules of a competition he's in.
Especially if you're the judge of that competition.
Yeah, right? In that case, 100%, like, in that moment, fuck that guy. But before and after that, that guy's probably a nice guy.
Just uneducated. This is why we're here, nerds, to educate. To help you guys out, to help everyone out. Guys, gals,
I hope everyone brought their
kids.
Pens and paper today to take notes.
Take notes. There's going to be a test later.
Pop quiz, motherfuckers.
Oh man. So there's so many questions, I bet, with a lot of people, especially starting out with kendama. I remember
100%.
seeing a post on Facebook kendama community, learning tricks with the sleigh bands. Is it a kendama crime? Question mark.
That's interesting. I mean,
it's like training wheels.
It is.
So you can have training wheels when you're starting out, cool. But are you going to keep those training wheels on when you're trying to do some like BMX fucking tricks? No. You're going to take them off. Because they were there just to support you at the very beginning. Just like, to go back to your baby talk, dude. You're going to help. Yeah. You're going to help your child walk at the beginning. You're going to hold onto their hands to help them walk.
Yeah. 100%.
Until they can do it on their own. Then it's like, sweet, go, run.
And then you're going to be fucking chasing them down the goddamn street for years.
Oh, yeah.
But
until they get on their bikes.
Yeah, and then you're fucked.
But sleigh bands, yeah. Which I think people are like kind of...
And I'm a little on the fence about it too, to be honest. Like, for me, I fucking started playing kendama when there was nothing but like TKs and Ozoras.
Yes.
And like, so like the stickiest kendama you could get was a fucking Ozora.
Yeah.
And that, let me tell you, was not, if you got one of those in the mail today thinking it was a honed ass Dama, you'd be pissed. All you fucking FKC fuckers, you'd be mailing the fucking shit like, what the fuck? I heard this thing was fucking sticky. I heard I could do a goddamn lunar on this bitch, but I can't, like that was not the case back then, man. I remember not even understanding what a fucking lunar was, looking at it being like, that is not possible.
Yes.
Colin Sanders a fucking liar.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, I remember like that shit crossing my mind.
Yeah, the first time I saw a UFO, I was like, fuck you. Like, are you kidding me?
Exactly. So part of me wants to say that you want to fucking learn this shit, you gotta take the hard road, man. You can't just fucking jump into the cushion clear with the big cups and do a fucking lunar first try and be like, oh yeah, I'm fucking sick. Yeah. Like, fuck you, dude. You gotta do around the world fucking for a year before you can even fathom that shit. Yeah. Kind of thing and earn that. That's part of me wants to say that.
Right.
No, the other part of me is already in the future here, and it is 2019, as I said earlier.
Right.
And things like the sleigh bands exist. Things like the sticky paint. Things like Cushion Clear, fucking Pro Clear. All these sticky paints.
Bigger cups.
All these big cups. All these buttholes. Things making things easier.
Stinky-ass
all this
buttholes.
Shit exists, right? All these new shapes. So I don't think it's a crime at all to use those things as learning tools. Like, what the fuck is wrong with anything if you were learning something? As long as you're not hurting someone.
Right.
I don't think there's anything wrong with learning something, even if it is just for research purposes, like whatever, like you learned something.
Right.
Like,
but hopefully those people also understand that it's the same thing as like when you do a lunar and it hits your thumb. It's like, cool, you got it there, but you still need some work to do.
Yeah, it wasn't clean. Yeah, exactly. 100%. That is a part of the understanding that is often unspoken, I feel like.
And I wonder if it goes to like the mentality of the people who pick this up, because I'm thinking about, I'm a skateboarder background since elementary school, and I would make videos with my friends, and I remember, you do some tricks, my friends and me, we would hit some lines, and we'd be like, I didn't feel too good, or the footage, like, I don't know, I looked a little weird, like it wasn't as clean as it could be. I'm going to redo it.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, like, how many people are on that same level? Because picking up skateboarding, especially, like, I think now it's really popular in North America.
Oh, yeah. It's huge.
I remember when I was growing up in middle school, it was just like me and two other fucking people.
Yeah.
So.
Straight up.
We would go back. We'd be like, I can do better. I'm going to do it again. Getting into skateboarding, not everyone can do that.
No, totally.
Because the hurdle to just fucking stand on the board and then push off, it took months just to get that shit down.
Yeah.
But kendama is super easy comparing the two.
In that regard,
right?
Yeah. Especially when you compare to like the fail factor,
Yes.
Like when you drop a kendama, you're like disappointed. Like maybe you hit your finger and it kind of hurt, but like you fall off a skateboard, you fucking remember that shit. It hurt.
Especially
like,
if
you
it's
fucking
a bad
remember
slam.
like, oh, damn, like I leaned way too far forward. I am not doing that again. Like my head still hurts a week later.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So it's like
straight up.
people who are going through that and like learning through with these tools and stuff. I wonder how much of them look at it as like, like this shouldn't be it. Like this isn't as clean as I could get it, or they're just satisfied with getting it and not thinking that I could do better.
Yeah,
you know, where the people that started Kendama a long time ago, like me and you, who are used to just Ozoras, TKs, Shinfujis, and we were able to do tricks with that. And then now using all these big cups and the paint and shit, bearing beads, it's like, wow, it's like so much easier. I've gotten better. Like, there's such a duality in my thinking, because it's like, imagine if skateboarding, again, going back to skateboarding, imagine if like the nose was never invented and you just had a tail the whole time. You know, a lot of tricks wouldn't have been able to be doable.
Yeah, there'd be no knowledge.
Yeah.
There'd be no, totally.
So the evolution of the kendama is definitely good, but yeah, right? The fucking roots.
Yeah, dude. You can't forget the roots.
The roots. So I think I remember I had a few like super old decks that had ribs on them. I think ribs are like cool nowadays, but
yeah, they are.
They're fucking like huge plastic like speed bumps on the back that was like a tail guard. Or a nose guard.
The ones that are popular nowadays, I think, are the ones that go in the middle between the trucks on either side, so it like protects the graphic when you're doing board
right. Yeah,
slats
those are the ribs.
Like
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
the tail one. I don't think ever came back because that's just in the way. You can't ollie with that thing.
Yeah, but it wasn't made for ollieing. It was made for stopping.
No. It was made for stopping.
Right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why that never came back. Because now the ollie is a thing.
Because nobody needs to stop.
But the middle ones
going
are
forward,
a thing.
Fuckers.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's interesting,
right?
And especially comparing kendama and skateboarding are two very similar things and come from a very similar place in the human psyche, I believe.
Yeah.
But have had very different evolutionary chains and have started in very different eras and have been in the hands of very different people.
Yes.
So like, it's very fucking interesting, especially if you look at the beginning of skateboarding, the beginning of kendama,
right.
The first like decade of skateboarding versus the first decade of kendama.
Oh man.
And like, that's funny that also because like, if you think about the first decade of kendama, it's like, well, which one?
Right. Have we even gotten there yet?
Current, like evolution, or is it the first decade of like when it was first invented, when it was nothing but the Nichigetsu ball, like the sun and moon
years
ball,
ago?
right? Like, yeah, like what the fuck was happening then? Probably not much in terms of what we're interested in.
Hells
right?
no.
Like,
but for them, it was fucking popping off.
Exactly, yeah. They're like, yo, there's a third cup.
Right?
Like,
dude, check it out. I'm holding the Dama.
This motherfucker put a hole in the ball. Like, oh. Like,
yeah. I mean,
no, totally. And like, who knows where we're going to be when kendama's been around as long as skateboarding has, and it's had as much influence from as many different humans who come from different backgrounds, who have different brains, who look at it differently. Like, I'm fucking stoked because like skateboarding is still evolving to this day.
Yeah.
Like, how many years later? Like, you know, and like, so where's kendama gonna be?
Oh
like,
man,
who knows, man? It's something that we get asked very often what we think about it,
right?
And I've always, to this day, I still think the honest answer is I have no fucking idea, and I never will.
You're never gonna know.
I've never ever even in a blink of a second believed that I know what is happening with this shit and stuff. Like, it's not even on the radar for me, man. Like,
again, going back to Mr. Weens's advice, where a lot of solutions or changes come because of a problem. So bigger cups, it's like, it was difficult for a lot of people to, you know, land a cup at the beginning, so let's make it easier for them so they can get stoked on Dama. Or, oh man, 100%. This paint isn't as sticky as I would like it to be, so pulling up, doing this like double lunar flip is kind of hard. Hey, let's make that shit a little more tacky so you can do that.
Then it just fucking slaps there.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, where's the problem with kendama? Which right now, like I can't think of anything. There wasn't a problem
Man.
like 5 years ago with
I
those
think
auras.
the problem now is that the tricks are outgrowing the toy in a way.
Ooh.
Not they're not, but they kind of did, and that's what caused, I
Yeah.
think, the current evolution with like the buttholes and the really sticky paint and these fucking crom coins that make the bevel the size of a fucking pocket pussy.
Right.
And fucking like. And some of that shit is pretty cool. And like with any kind of like new thing or evolutionary like strain, there's always going to be some things we like, some things that we don't like, some things that need to be toned down a little bit, some things need to be mixed up a little bit. It's like when we record these podcasts, I go through and I take the audio and I mix it so it sounds good together.
Right.
There's always, you get a new mic, it sounds a little different. There's a little tweak. It's like that's fucking life right there.
Yeah.
And that is evolution in a nutshell, really. So like, it's very interesting to be a part of this era and to like be at the forefront of it in a way, to be able to like say like, yeah, I've been around here for 10 years I've been familiar with this toy for 10 years.
Yeah.
Enough to the point where I could tell you about this for 10 years. I could tell you what is going on with it. And now I'm finding more and more that I know less and less about what's going on because of the size of the community that's growing. And like all over the world there's shit. And like, yeah, I'm in Japan and I'm going to events every week pretty much, going around different places and meeting different people or the same people and like doing event like performances, teaching kendama and stuff like that. But there's also shit going down all over the world that I have no fucking clue about,
Right.
And I'm only thinking about the stuff too that's like online. Like think about countries who don't have access to that kind of shit. Like they have this kind of stuff too. Like they're not fucking like monkeys in caves just because they don't have a goddamn smartphone at the tip of their fingers anytime they want, like they're just as much human beings as we are. So they have all this shit too. So like what the fuck are they doing, man? Like for example, like there was just the China Kendama Open a few weeks ago, which Nick went to and Tomotsu and Kota from Gloken both went to. And China is a place where they're not allowed to use Facebook. They're not allowed to use Instagram and those kinds of social media. Right.
The government has created its own website, its own SNS kind of system.
Which is a whole nother conversation in and of itself. But
Big brother.
But so going there, Kota and Tomotsu didn't really know what to expect, like community-wise, like how many people are gonna come, like what are the level of the players gonna be like, because you've never seen it.
That's true.
Right?
I've heard about like the Taiwanese, clubs and stuff, and same with Hong Kong. Yeah. Now that I think about it, I don't know so much about the Chinese.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Because you don't see that. Like that doesn't exist in our realm of existence. Right. Like we don't get exposed to that.
And then they don't get exposed to what we are putting out or what Westerners
exactly. So it's it's a fucking virgin source of evolution in this. Like
intense.
It's so sick, dude. Like I want to like so bunch of years ago I've talked about how I went to India and Egypt and stuff like that.
Right.
As much as I could, I gave kendamas away. Like. I can't give away every kendama I have because then I wouldn't be playing and I wouldn't be able to fucking inspire people anymore. Right. Or do my own thing.
Yeah, or protect yourself if you needed it to.
Yeah, or protect myself against crazy fucking Japanese dudes, which has been proven in recent times. But anyways, I've given away kendamas as much as possible, right? And so part of like what's in my mind every time I do that is like I want to come back within a year, within 5 years, within some kind of like close time, but not too close, so that they have time to like think about it, some time to like actually like understand a little bit about this thing, and then to see where they went with it, because like just to see that like
make it their own.
Yeah, they make it their own, man. Like it's that unedited, like not altered by any other outside forces, like just their own, just that one person's mind and this toy. Yeah. Like that is so pure and like beautiful to me, and I just want to see it. Yeah, and it's already so rare in this world. Yeah, like to have someone who is uninfluenced by anything, like that doesn't exist these days. Right. Because of like where we're at, and not that it would even like 100 years ago. People are influenced by each other and their surroundings, of course, but that plays into your mindset as well. So like yeah, I don't know. I just want to see what people come up with it. You know,
Right.
like I want to see. Like I showed them a little bit, of course. Like give them this, but then like what did they bring
Yes.
afterwards? That's what.
Yes.
So
And that's the interesting.
one of these days, I need to go back to all these places
Right?
and to like try and find the people that I connected with in those times.
Yeah.
And be like, yo. Do you remember me? Because I fucking remember you. Like, let's hang out. Show me what you've learned.
Show me what you've got.
Yeah, show me what you... Yeah, I got to be the big, giant floating head in the sky. I'm going to float around from country to country.
Oh, man, they're going to be like, yeah, I sold that shit like fucking 2 days after you gave it to me.
Yeah. It fed my family for a week. Yeah.
I guess that's good.
Fuck.
But, oh, man, that
If that's the case, it's forgivable. I
that's
guess.
definitely intense, and I think it goes to... at least I'm just thinking of music when you were explaining that, how, you know, you want to see something kind of pure, and how
that's a huge example.
music
Music
is influenced by, or if you're someone who makes music, you're influenced by the music you hear. And I know there's plenty of people like who even now will go on like retreats where they just go to a cabin like in the middle of fucking nowhere and write a record for like a month,
where there's no influence.
Yeah, because they want that freshness or you know, that creativity that will come.
That pure fucking essence that comes just straight from you and nothing else, right? Yeah.
So it's really cool, and I think that's why a lot of people who, like, are noticed. You can see when that happens in the Kendama community, where it's like, whoa, this person's just like totally doing their own thing, and that's when people are like, it's innovative. It's like, well, it is. It's just like it's a fucking rock that hasn't been unturned.
Yeah, it's like so. Is it ignorance or is it innovative?
Yeah,
like that's interesting. Yeah,
that's
an interesting take.
Yeah.
That's a super interesting take. Yeah.
Like I look,
where does ignorance stop and innovativeness like begin?
Right. Hopefully, it's like we can all just be like innovative.
No, totally. Yeah.
Just by creating things.
And like that, that's something that like, you know, with kids, especially when you're teaching kids, they do something weird and they're like swinging it around or like something, you know, it's always something. And you're like, oh, you made a new trick. Like, nice. Sweet. That's cool. You're going to have to teach me that later. I can use it in the next competition. You know, like I use that line all the time for sure.
Yeah, right. I mean, if it's catch and flow, you could use it probably.
Yeah.
Flow
I mean, unless that little fucker gets a video into Glowcan, you know. Flow it out. But yeah,
getting deep. Episode fucking 13, Damanerds. I mean, there's so much shit, and I'm sure anyone who's been in the community for a long time has these same thoughts about like what's cool and strong thoughts of your own about
100%.
What's legit and what's not. I think it's important just to be like when to drop knowledge and how to do that to help people learn for the better.
Straight up. It's like I was saying before, like about Kendama. It's all about your venue and your presentation, right? That Dama has a lot of lessons in it.
Yeah.
And I believe that you can use Kendama as a metaphor for any part of life, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, and this is no exception right here.
Yeah, no, not at all. Oh man, we've been grinding. To not forget everyone who's been checking out the the Damanerds podcast, you know that the break shit contest is still in effect. So we only have a few more episodes until Kendama World Cup, because that is the due date to get your entries into either at Damanerds on Instagram or at Rod Dama on his Instagram.
I've actually gotten a decent amount of entries. I'm pretty hyped on a lot of them. There's been some good ones. There's been some that are there. There's some entries, you know, but I'm stoked to hear about them. That's the important
exactly.
part.
And everyone, you know, you're not going to be left out, even if you haven't given an entry, or if you have. Rod is going to be reading some good ones off during the announcement episode.
All the ones I can manage to keep on my phone and shit, we will be reading.
Yeah. Dude, just screenshot. You can screenshot that stuff.
That's what I've been doing. But, you know, we've talked about us and technology, man. Me and my phone are not the best of friends. Sometimes
we are the Dama nerds,
we just don't.
But in the technology realm, sometimes things don't really work out our way.
Yeah, right? some wood and a string, I can tell you fucking anything you need to know, what's where, fucking up and down, whatever the fuck. You put an app on that shit, I'm just like, I forget how to spell app.
Oh yeah.
For a second, you know, like my, like so.
APE? Is there 2 P's?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, get those break shit fucking entries into me, because I know you motherfuckers are breaking shit with kendamas.
Exactly.
I know it happens. We've all been there. Don't be scared. I'm not gonna fucking snitch you out. You can even give me an anonymous entries. That's chill. Like, I don't give a fuck if you're really that worried about it.
Oh man, that's a lot of work.
Fine.
They're gonna have to create a fake account and just.
I won't snitch. If you want to be anonymous, just tell me. I won't
okay.
fucking give your name. That's fine.
Nice.
You can trust your old buddy Rob.
Yeah.
If you want to go real deep and like make a fucking throwaway account just so you can tell me this Dama stuff, like, please, if that's how deep you need to go to tell me this story, I want to hear it so fucking bad.
Oh man.
Fucking teach me. Show me what you got.
To go back to it. Hells yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
Oh man. And again, guys, Dama Nerds on Instagram. Keep your eyes peeled for the t-shirt drop, or I should say the pre-order, the pre-sale of the Dama tees, and just get ready for it, because it's just going to be sick. It's just going to be good. I'm excited because I've been thinking about making a shirt for a while, and it's going to be sweet. Hopefully you guys are excited too. It's going to be gnarly.
Fucking yeah.
Oh shit. Well, we got a lot of good shit done in episode 13. Hopefully everyone had a good time. We have a little thing called Patreon under the Kendertainment name, and that's a place where you can go and you could donate monthly to us to keep this Dama Nerds, this Kendertainment vehicle, moving in a forward and fast position, or fast speed, I should say. There's some great tiers. You can get some cool stuff. Thank you to all the people who've been signed up as of now. Fucking shout outs to the best.
Yeah.
The best. Thank you so much. If you're thinking about it, definitely check it out, and it would mean a lot.
Fuck yeah.
If not, just let us know. If you can't donate, just tell a friend about Dama Nerds. Go on YouTube. Check out all the videos that I put out. Yeah, and share them. Tell your friends. Just jump on it. Mm-hmm. Leave likes. Leave comments. Reviews on iTunes. Spread the love in a positive.
If your friends don't like Kendama enough to listen to a Dama podcast, then you should hang out and play Kendama with your friends more often until they like Kendama enough to listen to a Kendama podcast.
This is true.
Like I mentioned, even my dad listens to these, and he doesn't fucking play Kendama.
Yeah.
Do you, Dad? Maybe my dad is just going to show up and whoop my ass at some competition one of these days. That'd be kind of sick.
Right? He'll show you what he's got.
Yeah, you little fucking turd. I've been working on this. I'll show you something.
I've been watching your old ass edits that you put out.
Yeah. Oh, that would be fucking amazing. I would just like, I don't even know. Like, I'm at a loss for words even. Like, I don't even know what I would do.
Right? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Well, with that said, everyone, I think we're going to peace out from the Dama Nerds here in Japan. We've been having a good one. We ripped it up. Episode 13. We'll be seeing you.
Episode 13. Lucky number 13.
Oh, yeah. We'll see you in a few weeks with episode 14. It's going to be a good one. Again, enjoy the Dama. Keep it positive. And keep it clean.
Oh, yeah.
Dama Nerds.
Out.